Activision, we need to have a serious chat. Well, if it ain't my favorite customer, how you doing? These microtransactions are out of control. You need to be stopped. Stopped? You can't stop Activision.
It's strange you say that because I got you this gift.
A gift? Okay, I guess I'll take it. Go on, open it. See what's inside. Okay, I got a hairband, coin, thanks, and some Afterbite. Ooh, tough break, but for a couple bucks more, you can get another one. I mean, I guess if I open one more, the worst thing I could do, right? Maybe I'll get what I'm looking for. Yeah, you definitely should. You should open another one right now. Yes. Oh my God, yes, open it. Okay, I got a hockey puck. Makes sense. A banana peel. All right. I got a penny. And if you collect 500 of those pennies, you can unlock a secret skin, but you're gonna have to end up spending like $1,000 towards us, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, but just so you know. I feel strangely empty inside right now. Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today, and you know I think Activision did something really dumb when I'm already breaking out the skit. The latest silly move in the ever-evolving monetization scheme known as Blackouts War is the addition of loot crates, or as the game likes to call them, reserve crates. Now I just get this feeling like loot boxes are making a strange comeback as if it's 2012 again. I mean, we see Apex Legends, the most popular game on the web right now, having loot boxes. There is a description on said loot box that tells you the chance of what you're going to earn in terms of rarity gear, but I digress. We can see that Activision took note of that and decided to add it into their multiplayer title. This move comes directly after Activision fires nearly 800 people despite reporting record earnings, and I swear these people could literally shit out $1 million every time they go to take a dump and they still wouldn't have enough money. It's never enough with these types of companies, and that's why a lot of people fear for a gaming crash. Standing on its own, I don't think loot crates are enough to piss people off. Once again, the most popular game on the web right now, Apex Legends, has loot boxes, so I think there is some tolerance to them, at least if you know the chance that you have to earn something in said loot box, and also the game's free, so I think people are quicker to turn a blind eye to it. Personally, I hate loot boxes because I feel it's a form of gambling. Like I said though, on its own, I don't think loot boxes look like to people the worst thing in the world, but when you have Black Ops 4, which also has, on top of these new loot boxes, a $50 season pass, a battle pass which has tiers that you can earn through gameplay, or you can purchase each tier for 100 COD points, aka $1. So you see now we have loot boxes which can be earned every 2 hours by playing some multiplayer or Blackout. We also have the season pass, which now Activision pretty much flags your account, makes you look like you're doing the worst thing in the world by telling everyone, hey, this guy does not have the season pass content. And that still may not be the worst thing in the world for some folks, but we also have to remember this. Don't get it twisted. This is a $60 game, okay? You pay $60 to get into the product. If this is a free-to-play game and they're adding season passes and the battle pass, and they're also adding loot boxes and they need to make money because the game itself is free up front, that's one thing. But we see a $60 game that you're paying to get into, then Activision's gonna knock you some money for the season pass, they're gonna knock you some more money if you wanna buy more loot boxes, and sometimes it does come down to consumer choice, like the battle pass. I think that's a fine system because it encourages you just to play the damn game, because if you play the game, you'll earn tiers, you'll get cosmetic items, there's no gameplay twist there, it's just a fun time, and it's a compelling reason to keep playing multiplayer. As someone who does enjoy Black Ops 4 and hasn't enjoyed a Call of Duty like it in quite a long while. But loot boxes, man, that just screams to me, I want some quick cash, and especially when it comes after Apex Legends, even more so. I did mention the Battle Pass, you can earn stuff from that for free, and the same thing does apply in a sense to the loot boxes. Like I said, every 2 hours of playing either multiplayer or Blackout, you can earn one single loot crate. But to me, it reminds me so much of a free-to-play game. I do play some mobile games on my phone from time to time. The one I do put the most time into is Marvel Strike Force, and while I do enjoy it, the thing that I notice all the time is it's always slapping a new offer or promo of something they're selling to me in my face, and I get that feeling every time I sign into Black Ops 4. There's this news post, there's this update about the patch and new things I can spend my money on. How exciting. To me, that's what bugs me the most. This game is a $60 title that is very much structured like a free-to-play game. The monetization features are that of a free-to-play game, and I don't think many of us would argue Activision for making these choices if, for example, you could download the multiplayer only for Black Ops 4 and play for free, and then you can opt into this content afterwards. There is some consumer choice involved. You don't have to buy the loot boxes. You don't have to buy the battle pass. You can earn all that through the gameplay. I think season passes should be on their way out completely. That, to me, especially with a game with so many other monetization features like Black Ops 4, screams to me that these content updates should be free, but it's Activision. They're not gonna just hand shit out for free. I mean, we're talking about one of my first Activision rants where I was talking about how they were selling Call of Duty 4 Remastered, but not selling the map pack, and they were gonna sell the map pack for an additional $15 tied to the game. It's a joke, man. Activision literally can never have enough money. And I say this for a lot of different companies and videos, so I'm not going to contradict myself now when I say that they're a business, they're always going to try to increase their bottom line, but when you report record earnings, isn't there this feeling of, okay, we made it, we're good now, we can keep treading along, or do you just try to earn more money than God himself? And there's never this point of satisfaction. Greed is clearly a corruption, and like I said, a business is going to be a business, I get that, but when it's around this type of product where you see $60 up front, completely different story in my opinion. And I also have just personal gripes with loot boxes. Like I said, I think they do indicate a bit of gambling, and they do hook people with more addictive personalities. And I don't think that video games should prey on those types of people like it's some type of casino. What's especially grubby about this is, number one, there is a gun locked in these loot boxes that's a Mark II version of a gun and gives you a 25% XP boost. Furthermore, the probability rankings that I mentioned for Apex Legends are not in these loot crates, so you don't know what you're buying into whatsoever. Then I imagine personally down the line, Activision might encounter some more legal trouble because there's been a smackdown on those types of loot crates. We've seen EA have to back out of loot boxes in some certain regions in the world. And as that battle pushes forward, I feel Activision's going to be one who also has to regress their methods because they're one of the most egregious offenders of these loot boxes. I personally don't feel like my audience plays a ton of Call of Duty. Based off the comments I read and the interactions I have with my community, it seems like most people are, yeah, it's solid at times, but it's not something I always dive into. But for those of you out there who do like Black Ops 4, like myself, I enjoy the game quite a bit. I have 150 hours on it, okay? I played a ton of competitive Black Ops 4. It is a solid game fundamentally. Even if you like this game, I can't imagine you want to support this stuff, because here's the thing, is if you like this game, you deserve better. That's the story at the end of the day. You can enjoy the game for what it is, but at the end of all of this, you deserve a much better product than what's being offered. Imagine if these loot boxes were tied to a gameplay loop. Imagine if it was like the battle pass, where when you unlock a tier, you also now get a loot box for free and there's no way to purchase it. Imagine that. What if the season pass was free like so many other games? I mean, we're talking about a $60 game from Activision. They make so much money and would actually make Call of Duty enticing to stay with after the first couple of months. We're talking about the addition of loot boxes 4 months after the game is launched, and also coming after the most recent launch of the most popular game out there on the internet. Give me a break. This is a greedy move and benefits no one, in my personal opinion. Also, as I edit this, I just want to add in one last thing, which is perspective. A lot of people don't add perspective to when they're making purchases with microtransactions. They'll see, for example, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and its loot boxes. Oh, for $2 I get a loot box. Let me spend $10. I'll get 5 loot crates. Good bang for my buck. But no one thinks in that very moment of the perspective of how far $10 can go in especially this industry, but life in general. Think of all the things you could throw $10 at, for example, like your lunch. You could spend $10 on a month of Xbox Game Pass and you can get access to hundreds of Xbox 360 and Xbox One titles, all the brand new Xbox One exclusives, like the most recently released Crackdown 3, which I know doesn't have glowing reviews, but I still think it's a solid time. You could get access to that. You could play all these new games. You could go see a movie. I just saw Alita Battle Angel for about $11, and I mean, dude, that was a good ass movie, and I'm glad I spent it on that, a new enjoyable experience rather than diving more money into the loot box hole that is known as Blackouts 4. Like I said, I just think it's important people have perspective where, yes, in the scheme of things, a lot of these microtransactions are cheap. It's more about quantity than quality for these companies. More purchases at a cheaper price. It increases the money up front so they can spend more on the product. But I just wanted to add that in for those of you who needed some additional perspective or food for thought. That'll do it for me. I just had to end that with a little spiel just to let those of you out there who want to support the game know that it's okay if you enjoy it. I personally enjoy it, but these practices cannot be supported and need to stop at some point in time, at least if it's a $60 game. If it's free to play, we can have a different conversation all day about that. But anyway, that'll do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this Activision rant, and I'll catch you guys next time. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that, as it fuels all the content I create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.